Oh boy. We saw some stuff today that is crazy, okay? Now, first things first, I am very, very happy with myself from my predictions for yesterday. I felt like I worked pretty hard on it, and yeah, I got most of it right. 3 of 4. LGD won just like I thought they would, PSG won just like I thought they would, and UOL won just like I thought they would. And I also did kind of tell you guys that Rainbow Seven could win that game. This is what I love to see. This is really what I love to see. Rainbow Seven winning that one game right there is what forced a double tiebreaker, or two tiebreaker games now. One between Unicorns of Love and PSG Talon, which, by the way, PSG Talon came out and won and took first place in the group. And LGD forced the game versus V3, and LGD won and kept themselves in the running. So now PSG Talon, the PCS second place group, who has 3 substitute players, is now going to the group stage at Worlds. They're guaranteed their spot since they are in first place. And LGD, by the skin of their teeth, made it into the series phase now, where they're going to have the second versus third place, or sorry, the third versus fourth place teams, who are then going to face off against the second place teams. And oh man, that's going to be some crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. In my opinion, by the way, LGD is much better in a series than they are in the best of ones. So I think LGD should be a little bit stronger going into this next stage here. But oh my god, UOL PSG Talon, that was a game to watch. Oh man, Rainbow Seven taking the third seed here. So it's going to end up being, what, Rainbow 7 LGD, I believe. So, oh man, okay, this is insane. The play-in stage so far is everything I could have imagined and more. Oh boy. Anyways, so this is of course not what this video is going to be about today. This is just kind of like my quick. I just had to get that out there before I go on with the next part of this video. So let me just really quickly go ahead and change up all of the stuff we need to see here. Oh, where did it go? Okay. Alrighty. So here we go. Let's get into the analysis and predictions for day number 4 of the play-in stage. So once again, day number 4 is going to be the wrap-up for Group A now, as opposed to Group B. And of course, we're looking at currently a two-way tie between Team Liquid and Papara Supermassive for the first place spot. We're looking at Legacy sitting at 1 win, 1 loss, and that 1 loss being to Team Liquid, I might add. Mad Lions at 1 wins and 2 losses. The 1 win coming against INTZ, who, by the way, I still think have a chance. They're going to be facing off against Team Liquid, so unfortunately that chance may not be as big as they would have hoped for it to be, but I wouldn't put them away just yet. With that being said, it is pretty disappointing that INTZ did end up losing that game to Mad Lions in the beginning. By all means, their spots should be reversed right now. By all means, Mad Lions should be 0-3, and INTZ should be 1-2. But with that being said, they're not. So currently, INTZ is 0-3, and Mad Lions are 1-2. And currently, that last game that INTZ will have to play is going to be very, very hard for them to get through. Now, with that being said, the first game of the day is a banger, an absolute banger. Papara Supermassive versus Team Liquid. So let me tell you what I can about this. All right. So first things first, let me pull out my notebook here and let's take a look at the matchups for tomorrow. So let me just flip over to the part of the book where I wrote everything down. All right, here we are. Oh wait, whoops, sorry, that's the wrong game. There we go. Game number 1. So that's gonna be Supermassive versus Team Liquid. Both of them have looked near unstoppable in the last few games that we've seen them. So let me just go back really quickly to the last game that Papara Supermassive played, which was, I believe, against Mad Lions. So Papara Supermassive versus Mad Lions. And in this game, the winner was, of course, Papara Supermassive, which is why they're 2-0 currently. Not just that, but the way that Papara Supermassive won this game was fairly straightforward. They went with the Wukong top, Nidalee, Azir, Senna, and Leona. Senna Leona to counter the Twitch Rakan that the Mad Lions had, which, by the way, was originally by Team Liquid. So Team Liquid was the original team to play that Twitch Rakan bot lane against Mad Lions, by the way, I might add. And it was a Wukong in the top against the Mordekaiser. Now, the Mordekaiser was playing okay on Arome. Arome was playing okay. He wasn't doing amazing. He also wasn't doing completely garbage. But at the same time, he did let the Wukong get ahead overall. The Wukong got a couple kills and just ran away with the game. Nidalee managed to move around the map far better than the Hecarim did, in my opinion. Shadow still having some struggles, and it's probably going to come back to bite them in their game against Legacy Esports. Arome really needs to pick his stuff up, okay? Like, I don't know why they keep putting Arome on those Camille and Renekton picks when they could have just put him on Mordekaiser or Ornn the entire time. Unfortunately, they put him on Mordekaiser against Papara Supermassive, but that's not going to do anything to help his confidence on the champion in the actual game against Legacy Esports. Now, quick note, Legacy Esports having Tapoon. Tapoon can play the game very well. I don't know why they put Tapoon on Silas in his last game, but we'll come back to game 2 in a moment. Anyways, let's focus on Papara Supermassive for now. So, so they have the Senna Leona that can go up against Twitch Rakan, so I don't think Team Liquid are going to be able to pull that out in this game, unless they very specifically ban away Nautilus and Leona, which would be very, I don't know, I feel like that would be a little bit excessive. What else do they got here? Wukong top lane. I don't think Impact is going to have too much trouble against Armut, but it is going to be an interesting matchup because they are, in my opinion, they're going to be very evenly matched. They're both tank top lane players too, so it's going to be interesting to see how they deal with that. Cacao, I don't know why Mad Lions just let that Nidalee fly against Cacao, but they just did. They banned away the Lilia from him, but then they let the Nidalee go. So, on the side of Broxa, so I'm pretty sure what's going to end up happening in the game tomorrow is Broxa's going to look to be on Lee Sin Graves, as he usually does. If not those two, he's probably going to go onto the Hecarim, and they're going to look for a Shen or a Mordekaiser in the top lane. For Impact. If neither of those go through, the third pick there would be Ornn. Jensen, I'm looking to put him on either Orianna, Syndra, or Zoe. But this could also just be the counter pick. So what I want to see them do is I want to see them save Impact's pick for last because I want him to be able to counter or moot in the top lane and not let him get an advantage. And I also want to see them save their support pick. Their AD carry pick can come early. Their jungle pick should be first, and their mid lane pick will probably be P3. Now, with that being said, Supermassive, we're going to look at them real quick. You have Ermut, probably on a top lane tank, I assume Ornn or Sion. Then Malphite's available for him too. He hasn't played it yet, but Malphite is available for him. Cacao probably on that Nidalee, or even on the Hecarim, if he wants to. They might look for that Shen Hecarim that they did in the first game that they played, which, by the way, I highly recommend that Team Liquid attempt to ban away the Shen if they're not going to pick it. So if Broxa is not going to go for the Shen Hecarim, then they should ban that away from Supermassive because that's going to be extremely difficult to play against. Bolulu. Honestly, there's not much they really need to do against Bolulu. Just make sure he doesn't get anybody that's too powerful against Jensen. Jensen should be able to hold his own against Bolulu. I would actually favor Jensen in that matchup. Like just a player 1 versus 1 matchup, I think Jensen should be able to counter Bolulu in most cases. Zeitnot and Snowflower versus Tactical and Core JJ. This is going to be a very interesting bot lane. Zeitnot and Snowflower can play very well. Snowflower's really good at moving around the map, and so is Core JJ. So it's going to be very interesting to see who can roam more effectively of the two supports, because that's, I think, what's going to be the determining factor of who's more effective. Tactical and Snowflower, they're just going to be farming up the whole game until they get to late game and just attempt to do as much as they can for their team. Tactical has performed much better than a lot of people expected him to at this world stage, and honestly, they're looking like the best bot lane in almost, well, the entire this entire kind of play-in stage here, if you're asking me. But anyways, moving forward. So right now, I look to put Tactical on, I'd say probably the Ashe or the Jhin. One of the two. Of course, they're probably going to ban away the Callista, but that if that's available, then that's also an option. People respect banning the Callista away from Tactical, as far as I've seen, though. So, Zeitnot, I look to put him on Ezreal or Senna. That's what they usually do, and I don't disagree with that. I think I'm fine with that as long as they can manage to get an advantage in the kind of jungle top lane regions. So that's what they usually try to do. They try to get an advantage for Armut and or Cacao. Anyways, with that being said, early pick jungler once again for Supermassive. Late pick for top lane. Expect mid lane to be picked somewhere in P2, P3. Unless they're looking for the counter onto Jensen, in which case they might save it. They might actually go for AD carry support pick early. So that's how I kind of expect the draft to go for Supermassive. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's really all I got for that. So let's move on then, and let's talk about the next matchup. Sorry. Before we move on, let me give you my quick prediction here. I feel like this is going to be a highly, highly competitive matchup. Whoever gets to the lead initially is going to be able to snowball it, but then a team fight may be able to turn the lead in the kind of mid to late game regions. So, because both of these teams can team fight very, very well, I feel like Team Liquid is very easily able to play around everybody on their team. But knowing them from the NALCS, they are known to make quite a few macro play mistakes in team fights. So I have seen them misposition a couple times, especially Tactical. I have seen him be a little bit too aggressive and kind of go into the team. However, Tactical has shown that he's not afraid to make big plays, and I think that's going to be really important in this game. So in my you know what? I'm going to go with the crazy prediction and say that Team Liquid will go 3-0 in this play-in stage. I know that doesn't sound like the crazy prediction, but the way that Papara Supermassive has been looking, they've been very dominant. So honestly, this game could go either way. I give it like a 50 to 48% chance for Team Liquid Papara Supermassive. So 52% chance that Team Liquid wins, 48% chance that Papara Supermassive wins. Anyways, moving forward now, let's talk about Mad Lions Legacy Esports. Okay, so luckily for us, Mad Lions and Legacy Esports were on the opposite side. So it was actually Papara Supermassive Mad Lions, and it was Legacy Esports Team Liquid for the last two matches of day 3. Day 2, excuse me. So at this point in time, what you need to know is that Legacy Esports, in the last match that they played against Team Liquid, tried to go a completely crazy route with Ziggs bot lane and Thresh support with Silas top lane and Jarvan in the jungle, and I mean Lucian mid was pretty meta, but they tried basically they just got outdrafted in my opinion. In my opinion, Legacy Esports just simply got outdrafted. They had their Lilia, Nidalee, and Evelynn banned. The only other option they had there would have been Gragas, but Gragas would have been a very kind of gutsy pick from them. So they just decided to go with the safe Jarvan pick and then to put Tapoon on Silas in the top lane. But yeah, simply by banning away those 3 junglers, Babip just became almost not useless, but he wasn't very useful around the map, and an early lead from Team Liquid just ended up becoming worse and worse and worse. And honestly, all I really have to say about this is that Babip's going to have to be careful during the drafting phase. So Legacy Esports is going to have to draft very, very well. They should not save their jungler pick for late. I really want them to pick their jungler early, otherwise their team is going to have a lot of difficulty around the map. Oh, hold on, I think this light is a little bit... Okay, there we go. Anyways, moving forward. Yeah, do not put Tapoon on Silas, and do not put Race on Ziggs, please. Like, just don't do that, okay? The Thresh pick for Isles was fine, but I want to see Race on Senna or Ashe. That's pretty much the only two I want to see him on. Maybe the Caitlyn if they can get a hold of her, but anyways, that's pretty much it. Now, Team Liquid has probably the easiest, or sorry, excuse me, Mad Lions has shown that they are not exactly the best of teams here at play-in stage. INTZ, while they do hold the 0-3 record, Mad Lions have been playing more like the team that should be 0-3. They lost their other two games, and the one game that they won was barely, and they were losing that game for quite a bit of it. And yeah, they haven't looked good. Shadow needs to pick it up. Orome is probably the weakest player on their team, in my opinion, right now. Yeah, they need to figure something out. Unless they fix some of the problems that they've been having recently, right away, they're not going to be able to make it to the next part. If somehow INTZ is capable of beating Team Liquid, and Team Liquid is capable of beating Papara Supermassive, then it's going to end up being a tiebreaker between Papara and Team Liquid, and INTZ and Mad Lions. Because I expect Mad Lions to lose the game against Legacy Esports. The reason why is very simple. Legacy Esports, if they can draft well enough, they can get Babip onto a decent jungler, they can get Tapoon onto a decent top laner, then in those cases they have shown that they can be a very strong team. They're 1-1 right now, and that one, once again, that one loss came against the team of Team Liquid, who has been looking like the strongest team in Group A. So, yeah, I don't really take anything away from Legacy Esports for that one. So as a result, yeah, if they can get Tapoon on a Camille, they can get Babip on like a Nidalee maybe. So Camille Nidalee going in with, I'd say a Lucian mid again, and a, let's see here, maybe an Ezreal AD carry, or a Senna AD carry, with a Leona. So Senna Leona maybe in the bot lane. This is just in case Mad Lions once again decide to go the Twitch or Con route. They just decide to run it back, just in case they decide to do that. I highly doubt they will, though, just based on what happened last time they tried it. But when was the game for Mad Lions before that one? Let me just double check something really quickly. Okay, so the last game for Mad Lions before that one was the loss to the Team Liquid. So in this case, what we need to know is that Karzi played Ashe, Kaiser played Leona, Orome played Camille, Shadow played Evelynn, and Humanoid played Syndra. And then their first game, which was a win against INTZ, they had whoops, sorry, just give me 1 second. They had Karzi on Jhin, Kaiser on Pantheon, Orome on Renekton, Shadow on Evelynn, and Humanoid on Lucian. Okay. Alrighty, I guess that really depends on what they're going for over there, right? So, yeah, this is really going to depend on what the draft is going to look like. If you're asking me, Mad Lions can still win this game. I'm not saying that they can't, but it's just the way that they've been playing so far. Their team fight has not looked good. Legacy Esports has shown that they can team fight if they have the right conditions. I just feel like their draft for the last game against Team Liquid is kind of what screwed them in the team fights. And so as a result, right now, yeah, if Legacy Esports can get a decent draft going, yeah, they can probably out-team fight Mad Lions. Shadow needs to pick it up, Orome needs to pick it up, and those are the only way that Mad Lions will be able to win this game. So I put it about 30-70%. So 30% Mad Lions, Legacy Esports, 70% chance of winning this game. INTZ Team Liquid. this should be a Team Liquid win. INTZ have been a very good team. Tay is probably going to be their biggest threat in the top lane. I don't think there's that much they can do drafting-wise to actually stop Tay. Shinny is who they're going to look to more target in the draft phase, and probably Macau. Just to get tactical and core JJ onto a situation where they can carry. I look to put impact on a tank as usual, so probably Mordekaiser or the Volbear, or maybe even like an Ornn. So I put impact on a late game tank. I put tactical core JJ on a late game bot lane. For example, a Twitch, maybe a Twitch Rakan, or not a Twitch Rakan, maybe a Twitch Leona, just to be able to take that away. What else is there? We have Broxa, right? So once again, Graves, Lee Sin, and Hecarim. Those are the 3 picks for him. Jensen, you're looking at Silas, Akali, Syndra, Zoe, Twisted Fate, Irelia. There's so many options for Jensen here, Orianna even, right? So I look to put Jensen, most likely on a Syndra, an Orianna, or a Zoe, just to be able to have as much control as he can around the map. Maybe even a Twisted Fate. Twisted Fate would be amazing if they can get their hands on it for Jensen. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Macau Redbird, they got to get Redbird onto somebody that can move around the map and match Core JJ. Because if they let Core JJ just run around the map and do whatever he wants, yeah, Team Liquid wins this game easy. So they need to get Redbird on Rakan, Bard, and or Alistair, so he can move around the map properly. Shinny needs to be on a probably an AP jungler, so I'd probably put him on Nidalee. So they ban away the Graves, put him on Nidalee or Lilia, or Evelynn, and then get Tay on a Renekton Camille in the top lane. So they should look for advantage top lane jungle, and if they can get Envy into a matchup where he can just stay alive versus Jensen, then they should be able to do something about this. Unfortunately, their bot lane will lose. Tactical Core JJ have more than proved that they're capable of doing that. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got for that. So Team Liquid, I put it 80-20 in the favor of Team Liquid. Legacy Esports Papara Supermassive. Oh boy. It should be a Papara Supermassive win. I don't think I'm going to doubt them too much here, but that really depends on what happens in the Team Liquid Papara Supermassive game. It really depends on if they're capable of bouncing back in the case that they do lose. If they win the Papara Team Liquid game, then they should be able to take out Legacy Esports. But I think Legacy Esports being on a 2-1 because they beat Mad Lions, should be able to look at Supermassive and probably try to win this game as well. So I put this about 60-40 in favor of Papara Supermassive due to the exact same draft reasons that I mentioned earlier for both of the teams. Yeah, there's not much else to say here. Once again, now Kakao and Babip are going to be really competitive on who gets the better AP jungler, right? So the prio should go Lilia, Nidalee, Evelynn, right? So that's in my opinion, that's the prio order. And of course, in the top lane, it's going to be Renekton and Camille, right? But at the same time, if one of them is going to go AP jungler with the carry top laner, then I think the other one should go tank top laner with the Graves, right? So I think both of them are more than capable of countering the other one, so the jungle matchup is going to be very interesting to watch. Tipun and Armut in the top lane. Armut is the one I'm going to give the favor to every single time, especially if they put him onto a very decent tank like Ornn or Shen. I feel like Papara here should just go for the Shen Hecarim again. They should be able to get it in this matchup, hopefully, if they haven't played it in the last few games. And Zeitnot and Snowflower should go on a late game bot lane. I feel like they should pull out Twitch Pantheon, is what they should do in this case, or maybe a Twitch Lulu in that case, and ban away the Nautilus. Now, the bot lane for them should look to go for, in my opinion, a Jhin Nautilus, maybe a Senna Nautilus. Or a Senna Leona, just to counter the bot lane that I gave you earlier for the Papara Supermassive side. And I look to put Tally on last pick, and I want him to counter Bolulu in this case. Anyways, that's pretty much it. And once again, this is if Legacy Esports is looking to win the game. Now, I want you to keep in mind, this game could still go either way, but once again, 60-40 in the favor of Papara Supermassive. So, once again, my picks for tomorrow are Team Liquid, win, Legacy Esports win, Team Liquid win, and Papara Supermassive win. So, pretty much all right side. So, yeah, anyways, at the end of tomorrow, what I want to see is I want to see Team Liquid 4-0, Papara Supermassive 3-1, Legacy Esports 2-2, Mad Lions probably going to be 1-3, and INTZ will be 0-4. Now that's at least what I expect. Once again, we're gonna have to see how tomorrow goes. But anyways, that's it for me today, guys. Once again, any and all support is appreciated on your end, and yeah, just make sure you go ahead and follow my Twitch channel and my Twitter, and I'm going to leave those in the description below, and I'll see you guys in the next video, which, by the way, that will most likely be on Tuesday, or not on Tuesday, sorry, tomorrow, just to predict what's going to happen in the best of fives that are going to be coming up after that. Or sorry, not the best of fives, but the series that are going to be coming up after that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Everybody have a great day, and I will see you all in the next video.